Hi, I'm Roman Lily, and today I'm talking with Rob, and we are chatting all about Steemit and cryptocurrency. So if you're curious about Steemit, if you're like, what is that? This is for you, or if you're new to the platform like I am, Rob's been at it for over a year, so he's gonna give lots of information to kind of talk about how this whole thing works. And stay tuned to the end of this video. I'm gonna talk about what's coming up next. All right, I'm so excited. Today I'm talking to Rob Cubbon. We're actually talking about the topic that allowed me to meet him, which is we're talking about crypto cash, we're talking about Steemit. We actually met at a meeting for Steemit, which if you're not familiar with it, it's a new platform where the idea is that creators and curators can get paid for interacting. So it's almost like Reddit, if you're familiar with it, where people post things and you can vote things up and make comments. But the difference is on Steemit, if you vote something up, you can get possibly money for it. If you comment, you can get paid for it. So it's a whole new thing where I was like, I can get paid just for like commenting. I have comments to make on a whole host of subjects. It was definitely interesting to me. And you've been on the platform for a bit of a while now.
Yeah.
How are you finding it? Like, are you...
It's very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see how it continues. You know, I mean, it's a completely new concept. Nobody... you've mentioned Reddit, and you could mention Patreon as well, in that Patreon pays you, but it's nothing like either of those two because it involves cryptocurrencies.
Right.
And that is very new to people. It's very difficult to understand. People say, well, where does the money come from? Because you don't pay anyone. Even when you vote for them, which gives them money, it's not money that's coming from you. So everyone says, well, where's the money coming from? There's no ads on the site and everything. And then you have to talk about cryptocurrencies and it gets so complicated that you really end up down a rabbit hole. However, I mean, just compare this to Facebook. You have to pay Facebook to get your content seen. You put your heart and soul into your posts on Facebook. They don't pay you for that.
Right.
And yet all these things happen on Steemit.
Because I was thinking about it. Okay, so for people who don't know about Steemit at all, a quick little overview about how it works is that I'm new to it, so this is very basic level. So it's you open up an account and they give you like a little bit of like Steam power, which allows you some kind of voting power, and then you can grow it from there. But it is sort of like when you say where does the money come from, I was thinking about that, and to me it almost feels like in a way Steemit is like your job, you know. So when you're there, the money comes from you putting in the time. So it's kind of like you're earning it just by virtue of being there in the same way that you would at a job, except it's very confusing because, okay, real world situation, I'm on Steemit, Rob's on Steemit, but he's been on Steemit for much longer than I am. So his worth is more than mine. Isn't that kind of sad though? Like, wow. But anyway, it's sad to me because so if I vote for something, my vote is worth like less than a penny. You know, whereas someone who's been on for a while, I've seen some people say that their votes are worth like $90.
Yeah.
Can you vote on my stuff? If anyone's watching, if your vote's worth $90, feel free to upvote my post. But it feels like, as a new person coming in, it feels very confusing. Like, I'm upvoting, I'm posting, nothing's happening. Yeah. Whereas some people, they're just like...
Yeah, I know. It is quite strange. And you're absolutely right. It depends on their reputation, how long they've been there, and how much people have voted them up.
Right.
So, you know, and my votes are now worth 14 cents.
Oh, 14. I didn't even say $14. No! I was like,
God.
14
That would be nice.
Bucks.
Yeah.
14 cents, but that's still a lot more than mine, which is less than a penny. So...
I know.
So the question is, how did you... I mean, this is like kind of a funny question because I want to say, like, how did you work your way up to 14 cents?
It was a lot of work.
Big money. You know, how did you manage to get yourself all the way up to 10 cents plus worth of vote power?
It wasn't actually that difficult.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah, I just posted content regularly, and I don't upvote and comment that much because I'm more of a creator than a curator, naturally. So that's what I've done, and you know, I've asked a few friends to come on and say, well, what do you think about that, and and luckily enough they've followed me there, so that's how I did it.
And the curators are the people who are the upvoting, so that's the term. Newbies are called minnows, so I'm a newbie. People can be whales.
I'm not
if
aware.
they're like big, you know.
Not that big.
Okay, by the way, we went to a meeting for Steemit. So like I said, this is where we met. And there was one guy there. I thought it was so funny because, you know, he's been on Steemit. He's like interviewed the Steemit owners. So of course he has like all this steam power, you know, behind him. So he was like, oh, so I just posted on Steemit about how, you know, I'm coming to this meeting and I just made $50.
Yes, it was quite. And to be fair to him, it didn't just say that. He added lots of nice photos of Chiang Mai.
No, it's true. Because when he said that, I looked at the post later.
Yeah.
When he said that, I was like, I thought he literally posted, I'm on my way to a Steemit meeting, click, boom, $50. And I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, but by the way, it was inspiring, but it was also hilarious because like some people put their heart into something, they get like a penny. But I did look at his actual post, and it was really long and thoughtful, and it was about Chiang Mai and different things. So it wasn't just like totally a phoned-in post like I thought it was from his comment. But still, he made $50 from that post.
And in fact, I've seen people make a comment like one sentence, and that's $100. So it does happen. Yeah.
But you know, so the thing that I've heard people complain about with Steemit is that when you are a newbie, like crawling out. So the way Steemit works is kind of like, I feel like the way Instagram and Twitter used to work, in the sense that you put something out there and it's all based on what's new. And when it's new, it kind of has the ability to be seen, and then it can get buried in a way. So that's true with Steemit. If you post something, I feel like there's a short window where people might see it, and then you're just buried. So like there's not much of a window to get upvotes. And so because of that, some people use bots, which I personally feel is kind of controversial, but I feel like it's also very normal on Steemit.
I mean, they are created by the community in order to help people like you and me. So the bots that we were talking about in the meeting are totally okay, not controversial, not breaking any rules.
Right, not breaking. So the bots can vote on your post. So bots, by the way, for people who don't know, it's like a robot. It's like
that somebody,
not a physical robot, like like rolling around.
bit of code that somebody's written, and the guy that wrote it or the lady would be a Steemian with large high voting power. Yeah.
Right. So now here's the thing. I think the interesting thing about Steemit, and what first drew it to me, is, of course, the idea of getting paid online, but it was also like the fact that crypto is so interesting to me. I was recently watching a documentary on Bitcoin, and I think there's just a lot of appeal to me on many levels. This idea of moving away from the traditional banking system, and this idea of getting into Bitcoin. I mean, there's so much talk about this. You've been in Chiang Mai longer than me. Like, how are you feeling about Bitcoin? Before we came, you said, maybe it's a bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah, well, we've just had a bloodbath in the crypto world, but that's to be expected.
But you know what they say, when blood is on the streets, buy.
Indeed. I haven't got any money, but
me neither. I need to get more than like 1 cent worth of steam power so I can buy some Bitcoin.
Yeah. Indeed. Well, cryptocurrency I am extremely interested in, and Bitcoin. Bitcoin was the first one, and there are thousands. However, it's a complete rabbit hole. I mean, you can start reading about it and you will never finish. And even if you're interested in what happens today, people who are following the cryptocurrency sphere cannot keep up, and they're experts, and they say, I can't read everything, So it really is an amazing thing. It could change our lives. It could be the sort of Web 3.0. It's literally that important. And basically, the interest, what piqued my interest is the decentralized nature of Bitcoin. So there's no bank, there's no third party, and there's no overseeing power for your money, in fact, and for everything. I mean, it's not just money, it's also content, as we've seen with Steemit. So therefore, it's more of a democratization, and you can, I can give my money to, say, a freelancer in Africa who doesn't have a bank account, and I don't have to pay any fees, and there's no middleman. It's just, I can just see how powerful cryptos can be, and moving that democratization into all these other spheres like content, insurance, banking. You can see that there could be a beneficial element to it. It's probably going to be a flip side to that, and there'll be blood on the streets as well.
Well, absolutely. I think certainly when something rises, something else, it's taking the place of something.
Yeah.
So obviously, crypto could eventually overtake the normal cash system, but to be honest, I think that would benefit a lot of people, at least in the long term. I don't think necessarily everyone realizes the power that banks really have and sort of the fees that they take and how it's not always so necessary in the time. I mean, even now, like, so an example would be, I was talking with people about Bitcoin and stuff, but like, if I transfer money from my account, from one account to another, it takes days.
Yeah.
It usually takes days for it to clear. You transfer money on Bitcoin, it takes minutes. It can be up to 5, 10, 15 minutes, but it's minutes versus days. I mean, that is hugely convenient. And then I was reading about the decentralized part, meaning that, I was reading about how it's tough that you can't like hack Bitcoin exactly because it's so spread out. So meaning like if you hack a bank, maybe you can hack this one bank. We've heard about banks being hacked. We've heard about all this stuff. Whereas with Bitcoin, there's no central place. It's spread out on a bunch of different computers, servers.
You'd have to hack thousands of computers all at the same time.
Right. That seems tough.
I think that would be tough.
I even heard about some prominent people were buying a bunch of Bitcoin, but then like that made me scared because I was like, well, are they going to buy it all up and then like try to collapse the market for Bitcoin? I leaned a little bit conspiracy theory-ish, so I'm always like, what are they going to do?
Yes.
These people are going to come in and try to take down Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what happened, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think some people say that is exactly what happened. When you get, I mean, we don't have to tell your audience that the crypto market is extremely volatile, and we're not giving any investment advice. So it's like that, and one of the theories is there are big guys moving in, pumping and dump, it's called. So they put in the money and then they take it out very quickly, the price goes down, and then they buy at the bottom.
This is what I've been saying. I think that how could people not do that, to be honest? Like, because if you just want to make money, why not buy a bunch, crash the market? Also because I think some people want, like, if you're from a big bank, wouldn't you want to crash Bitcoin? I mean, like, I would.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and I'm not like some brilliant mastermind, but it only just seems obvious. Take out the competitor. That's what we're trained to do as capitalists. Which I'm not a capitalist, though.
I agree. It's a little bit surprising that governments and banks haven't worked against crypto up until this point. However, we don't know if they will in the future.
Right. Maybe they're working behind the scenes. It's just tough to see. I like these little theories. I don't know. Who knows? But I still think I can't foresee how crypto couldn't become huge. I'm not saying Bitcoin because I have no idea, and I'm still so new to the crypto world, but it seems like everything's just moving in that digital direction, and because it's more secure, and according to that documentary I was watching on Netflix, even some banks are trying to figure out their own way to have their version of a digital currency. So it seems like it's going to go that path. Just who's going to win the race? Yeah. Maybe we don't know yet.
Exactly. It's just like the MySpace Facebook thing, and that is the same with Steemit. Steemit could be MySpace, it could be Facebook.
Right. That's exactly what I was saying the other day. Like, I wish I knew, because like I don't want to invest all my energy in Steemit and then like it's MySpace.
Yeah. Indeed.
Could be.
However, some people make money on MySpace before it all went wrong.
That is also a fact.
Yeah. And then they tried to rebrand it and it didn't work.
I love it. So I should get on this bot thing. I haven't done it yet with Steemit, so maybe I should try to figure this out. Yeah,
I got a video that might help you.
Okay, I'm going to check it out. I'll put a link to it in this video description as well, so that we can all learn together. Learn about Steemit, learn about crypto. If you have questions, you can put it in the comments and I'll try to figure out the answer. I might not know it because I'm new to this world as well and I'm trying to figure it out, but we can learn together and learn about all this stuff. So this was really helpful.
I hope so.
From a minnow who's been in the Steemit game for a little while, I appreciated this chat all about crypto.
Thank you, Roman.
Yes, thank you. And I'll catch you next time. All right, I hope you enjoyed that chat. I feel like I learned a lot. There's still so much to learn about this whole Bitcoin cryptocurrency thing. So subscribe to this channel if you want to learn more. We can learn this together. It's going to be a process. There's a lot to figure out.